This was an ordinary plains village that I have transformed into a medieval village. In this tutorial series, I'm going to take you through how to make each of these houses. And if you want to see the transformation of this village in my Hardcore Historic Castle series, there's a link in the description. When I say medieval, my focus is England, 1100 to 1350, but houses like these could be found across Western Europe. Let's start with the smallest of the medieval cottages. These are the blocks that I'll be using. I won't be talking about quantities, but we do have snow blocks, white wool and white concrete powder for the wattle and daub sections, and I've got dark oak logs and dark oak fences for the timber framing. You could substitute spruce for those if you wanted. So we're going to start by laying out the foundation. I'm going to do this in white wool, and then we'll add the other blocks for texturing later on. We start with one short wall. I'm going to place 5 white wool blocks. Then we get to the long wall, and that's 9 blocks long, so we count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we take the other wall to the same length and fill in the other short wall. Now pop down some torches just so you don't end up with problems as you're building, and we're going to build these walls up to a height of 3. So that's the basic shell of the house. Next we're going to put on the roof. Grab a wooden stair of your choice. Anything is fine, as roofs were either thatched or wooden shingles, and as we don't have a hay stair or slab block, any sort of wood is a good substitute. I'm using spruce. Run stairs right way up, right the way along the uppermost level on the long side. Extend it out by 1 at each end, and put an upside down stair behind where you've extended it. Do the same on the other side. Now put another row on top of that, going in one, and again an upside down stair behind, and one more on each of those. Don't put an upside down stair behind this time. Now that that's done, this gap here at the end, finally put an upside down stair but at 90 degrees to your roof stairs. Same at the other end, and now cap the whole thing with a matching slab bottom half. Now take dark oak fence, and on one long side place dark oak fence at either end, and then place columns of dark oak fence either one every second or one every third, whatever you like the look of, or mix it up. Just don't put them next to each other. You end up with this effect, which isn't what we want. Do the same on the other side, and you don't have to have each side identical. You can mix it up. Now come to one of the ends, doesn't matter which one. Dark oak fence at each side, and a row of dark oak fence right down the middle supporting the roof. And this we do want to do exactly the same way at the other end, traders permitting. Now you need to decide where you want your entrance and where you want your windows. You can put an entrance on the side of the house, just knock out 2 blocks, or you can put an entrance at one end of the house. I'm going to put the entrance at the house end. And now go round your house and knock in a couple of windows. Personally, I wouldn't put in any more than 1 or 2, but if you really want to, you can put in 3, but I wouldn't do any more than that. Fill each window with fence, either dark oak or spruce. And now over that window, place a spruce trapdoor for a shutter, or you can use birch trapdoors, because quite a number of windows were covered with sheepskin, which was translucent. It let in light, it kept out insects, and it had the added benefit of giving the members of the household some degree of privacy. Now grab a door. I would suggest spruce, although you could do oak at a pinch. And now come back with your white concrete powder and snow blocks and mix up the blocks a bit, give them a bit of texture. And there we have it, that's the outside. Now you can leave it like this. Yes, there's a gap at the end, that's to let smoke out. Or you've got a couple of options. You can fill in the end of the roof with your wattle and daub blocks. You can get rid of this top row at the end and run dark logs along, either spruce or dark oak, and then strip them to make a supporting beam. And if you're doing that, definitely fill in the rest of the space with your wattle and daub blocks. So that's one possibility, that's another, and that's your third. As to the inside, again, there's a couple of options. You can make your floor entirely path blocks, or you can make a floor that's entirely straw, so it's like you've got rushes on the floor. How you decorate the inside depends on what you're using it for. If this is just for you or for your own private village and you do not have Minecraft villages around, then put a campfire in the middle of the floor, include a chest for a grain ark, and that's it. You're done with decoration. If you do have villagers, get rid of the campfire for starters. They will be dead within minutes if you leave it there. And put in a couple of beds for them. And again, if you don't have a campfire, if you've got villagers involved, make sure that you light up the interior. A couple of torches will do the trick. I wouldn't use lanterns. The only means of lighting a little cottage like this would have been rush lights, which is strips of rush or reed dipped in tallow, which is animal fat. Torches are still too much light, but it'll keep the mobs at bay. So there we have our small medieval cottage. As close as I can get to half timber wattle and daub in vanilla. Stay tuned for the next tutorial, which will be for a 2-story medium-sized house. See you then.